So we're focusing this week on our morning reflections on the 4 exertions, or the 4 endeavors that are a core part of Buddhist psychology. And the last couple days on when the wholesome is around, keep it around, and when the wholesome is not around, invite it. These are all in the same territory. We're working at it from different angles. And today's is when the unwholesome is around, when the unwholesome comes to visit, and you notice it, a number of possibilities here. Abandon it, release it, transform it in some way. This is one of the hardest ones, most challenging. It's one of the most challenging aspects of practice because we are not wired to turn toward or to really work with, to really integrate difficult, challenging states of mind. We'd rather not. We'd rather not. We're not wired to turn toward, to open to pain, whether it be mental, physical, heart pain. We're not oriented to turn toward it in any way. We're wired to turn away from it. And yet, it continues to visit us, doesn't it? Have you noticed that negative states of mind have not stopped arising from time to time? Like every day at some point, probably many times a day for most of us, in some form. Not necessarily in huge ways, sometimes in huge ways, but in smaller ways. Right? Smaller irritations, disappointments, aversions, things that we'd rather not be present, things that we wish would go away, etc. Yeah. And there's the instruction, the more classic instruction, the one that I certainly received for the longest time, was just to label it. If it comes up in meditation, just to label it. And then return to the subject of meditation. Just to label it, what maybe the type of thinking it is, the type of irritation that it is, and then come back. And sometimes label it 2 or 3 times and come back. What I noticed in my own practice, it was kind of a casual, slightly aversive, slightly, yeah, I see you out there, I wish you hadn't shown up again, I'd like you to go away now, kind of label. There's a little bit of that energy, a little bit of aversion usually, or bargaining, or just don't quite want to make any other kind of relationship with it other than that, which is both understandable and yet to go deeper into meditation, we need to begin gradually to welcome and integrate and make a different relationship with our negative, more challenging states of mind. In fact, the one move that we generally have not made with those states of mind is to really turn toward them. Yeah. And like we know that the way to transform something, to heal from it, to release it, is to move into it, not around it. It's true in meditation as well. Gradually, eventually, we have to turn toward. And really, one of the things that holds us hostage, one of the things that continues to create dukkha, dis-ease for ourselves, is not so much the challenging mind states. It's our unwillingness to relate to the challenging mind states. We're held hostage by our partial and slightly aversive relationship to negative mind states. And so part of this invitation, this exertion, this endeavor, yes, it's to abandon, but what does abandon mean? What does it mean to release? What does it mean to change our relationship to these negative mind states? First, we have to notice that it's there. I'll label it first. Oh, there you are. There you are again. But the first move, and the one that we feel is so important, is to notice it in a slightly more accepting, beyond simply tolerating it, but in a slightly kinder way. A slightly kinder way. Oh, there you are again. Oh, it's you. I see. Yeah, in a slightly kinder way. If we can do this, and we'll have many opportunities to do this. Yeah, it seems like a simple move, but it's a movement toward. It's movement. If you notice, I go like this with my hands. Oh, there you are again, as opposed to oh, I see you. Yep, got it. That's memory. That's worry. That's planning. Okay, it's a little bit different than that. It's like oh, this is planning mind. This is what planning mind is like. It's arising here. Yeah. Eventually, our practice needs to be more inclusive, not more exclusive, continuing to partition and push those pieces away. But oh, here you are again. Here, I see you. And if possible, I'll feel you a little bit. A little bit. Not too much. I don't want to go down the story road with it. But I do want to honor its presence, with a little bit more feeling, if possible, before returning. And we don't want to throw another log on the fire, which is so easy for us to do. Something arises, we're afraid if we turn toward it, we're going to go, oh, that reminds me of all the other things that I'm irritated about right now, and da. But we do want to go, oh, there you are, I see you. Yeah. And the other piece, and we'll work with this one a little bit in our meditation here in a minute, is to see if you can, and this is easier to do either with the body sensation, with it which is not too uncomfortable, but which is just a little uncomfortable, or something like a sound that is not our favorite sound. I don't like that sound. Is to see in a moment whether you can, the way that you turn toward it can actually change the feeling that you have about it. This is the transforming part. I've done a lot of work with this with sounds. Oh, I don't like that sound. Well, what's going on with I don't like that sound? The sound is just the sound. Is it possible that I can hear it as if it's not irritating? It's not irritating. No, it's not irritating. It's like, oh, it's just the sound of a lawnmower. It's the sound of traffic. Taking away the aversive response to it. You see? It's possible to do that in the way that we attend. If we take a moment with it, as opposed to, I don't like it, I'm going to focus on something else now. Well, wait a minute. Oh, sound. Okay? So what we'll ask you to do in this guided meditation, it's a little bit different. After we settle, it will be to notice, see, if there's anything there now in your meditation, in your field of experience, that's just a little bit, you'd rather it not be there. You're not quite welcoming it. It's not quite you're not quite accepting it. You're not folding it in to your meditation. And see if you can just turn toward that for a moment and slightly shift your relationship to it. Now, I'm not talking about a big thing. I'm talking about something smaller. A sound, a little bit of pain in the knee, just to turn toward it for a moment with kind of a kindness, a kind of generosity that just simply goes, oh, yeah, I see. Okay, and then it's not necessarily staying with it, but just visiting it briefly, like this. Yeah. Okay.